This is Brook Goldstein. This is what's her name. She is a narcissist, without a doubt, infantile woman, talks a bunch of tosh, and she makes no sense. And she is accusing Wajahat Ali, this other guy, he's a writer from the States, and she doesn't provide any evidence. Let's take a listen at this woman who is freaking out. She's acting absolutely crazy in this entire interview, and at the same time getting caught by people even like Piers, who is pro-Zionist, who is pro-Israel, who doesn't want to call the Palestinian atrocities as genocide. He even, in this video, calls out this lady, infantile child, Brook Goldstein. Take a listen.
Look, hang on. If you're going to do that, I don't think it's unreasonable to say, who? Which of my pro-Palestinian guests expressed support for Hamas? Because I must have missed that.
Wajahat Ali, who is on the show right now with us, for example, has deep connections to the Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood is the mother of all terrorist organizations. It spawned Hamas, a designated terrorist group, which is currently killing both Gazan and Israeli civilians. Wajahat Ali, who is on the platform with me right now, and your audience needs to know this, sat on the board of the Muslim Student Association, which is widely known to be a Muslim Brotherhood entity. He also has writings that are cross-posted on the English language website of the Muslim Brotherhood. He has cross-posted authors who call for the eradication of the Jewish state. He's a leading writer at CAP, the Center for American Progress, which also has ties to the Muslim Brotherhood. He has criticized cracking down on the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. And of course, he just published an article saying that he's against Hamas because it's politically expedient to him,
Brooke,
he is connected to the Muslim Brotherhood. That's who you have on your show right now.
Before I go to him, you've just said he'd just written a piece condemning Hamas. So you kind of kill your own argument. Let me...
Oh my goodness, man. This is so shameful. Shame on you, Brook Goldstein. You do not even have your arguments straight, your debating point straight. You're just a loser, a big loser. This lady is the same lady who says anyone who is going to be protesting on the street of London, US, anywhere in the Western world for Palestinian and for humanity is pro-Hamas. She does not consider anyone who talks against Israeli oppression, genocide, to be even human. This is the narcissistic person, and she is the most ultra-Orthodox Zionist that you have ever seen. She makes films and she misinterprets a lot of things. She gives you misinformation. She will provide you disinformation. She is the mastermind behind a lot of the things that you see on the internet coming to you from the so-called writers and filmmakers.
Go to Wajahat.
Well, he's sucking and blowing at the same time.
Okay, let me go to the man you've just been...
Let me go to Wajahat that they are using right now.
Let me go to the man you've been accusing. Wajahat, what do you say to that?
Well, first of all, excellent pronunciation of my name, Brooke. Thank you. Also, it's pretty amazing that for a human rights lawyer, you really don't seem to care much about human beings who happen to be Palestinians or Muslim or Arab. It's like a fireman who's actually an arsonist, but thank you.
I risked my life to make a movie
I risked my life to make a movie. Can you imagine? This is the level of stupidity she is showing here. I made a movie to support the Palestine. I support a movie. Like, we have seen a lot of movies. There is one coming on Netflix where they portrayed a Muslim, an Arab Muslim, as terrorists. Yeah, this is exactly what they're doing right now when they should be exposing Israel's genocide. They're calling the Muslims in this kind of film terrorists. So this is the type of film that she makes, portraying the Arabs as the terrorists and the Westerners, the Zionists, they are good people.
Arab children. I risked my life to make a movie about Arab children and was given an award by the United Nations for my advocacy work for Palestinian children.
Let him answer.
So good job on doing your research.
Let him answer you, please.
Bunch of tosh.
You are the hero and you are the victim. But let me say the following. Let me say that, well, the person who accused me of being the Muslim Brotherhood and the person who's accused us, anyone who's pro-Palestinian, of being a Nazi, which is, by the way, what Brian Mass said, a Republican. He said there's no...
Why have you denied Jewish indigenuity to Judea?
Okay,
Why
you know what, Brooke, I'm going to get it. I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to jump in because we're straying. You keep mentioning.
And you say these things on television,
Brooke,
but you write the exact opposite
Brooke,
in your writing.
I'm going to jump in and come to Glenn. He's been waiting very patiently as you guys have been going at it.
Okay, so one of the arguments she has about is that the pro-Jew rallies, they're getting under attack. Now, I want to actually share with you something that you should take a look about these attacks coming on the pro-Israeli demonstrator. It is actually not happening as often as it is happening against the pro-Palestinian protesters. Take a look at this one. Canadian police attack pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Pro-Palestinian protesters and Israeli supporters clash. Pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel protesters clash outside Los Angeles. Pro-Palestinian and protesters clash with... So all of these things, all of this report that you're seeing or watching on YouTube, you will find out one thing very, very common, which is that whenever the pro-Palestinians will go out to protest, all of a sudden the pro-Israeli parties, groups will just pop up. I want to actually also show you another very, very important thing. Don't go anywhere. This is who she is. This is who Brook Goldstein is. Fox News guest, so she, Goldstein, Brook, compares pro-Palestinian protests to Pearl Harbor. Can you believe this? New York City pro-Palestinian rally was a pro-terror rally. Brook Goldstein. She is someone who doesn't want to have any rally, any protest against Palestinian, and then when you do that, you are pro-Hamas. And now take a look at this individual. His name is Glenn. He's the host of System of, I think the program called System. I don't remember. But just take a listen at what he's saying.
I want to hear from Glenn.
The idea that the Center for American Progress is some sort of crypto terrorist group, when in fact it is the most mainstream Democratic Party platform that hosted Benjamin Netanyahu, that completely supports Israel, just like the Democratic Party does, is derangement. And this attempt to accuse everyone of being a bigot or an anti-Semite the minute they express any criticism of Israel, I think is very toxic. But the worst thing, Piers, is that ever since a month ago when this started, we have had a spate of censorship throughout the West aimed only at one side, which is the pro-Palestinian side. France banned all pro-Palestinian protests. You can have pro-Israel protests. You can go and say you think Gaza should be flattened, that all Gazans should be eradicated, like many people say. What you can't do, though, is march in opposition to the French policy. The British Home Secretary said waving a Palestinian flag may be a crime. In the U.S., they're banning pro-Palestinian groups. So we can have our differences. Obviously, this is a very inflammatory issue.
And the only response she has now, when this person, Glenn, is exposing the Western government's hypocrisy and they're cracking down on the pro-Palestinian protests, the only response she has, Brooke, is, you are lying, you're lying. This person is so dangerous for freedom of speech. I mean, unthinkable. Let's take a listen a little bit more here.
How just your cause? And I
want you to stay, because at the end of this video, there is something very, very interesting that will happen. Just watch.
It was the lesson of 9/11, that just because a country is enraged and acting with a quest for violence doesn't mean that everything they do in the name of avenging that terrorist attack becomes justifiable or morally defensible.
Okay.
Much of what the United States did wasn't, and much of what Israel's doing isn't either.
Okay, Glenn. Powerful words.
Piers,
Thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, Wajahat, we've run out of time, but I will get you back on the program because you've been a terrific guest tonight. I've enjoyed that debate. It's been
last
fiery.
thing I just want to say is that Jews have led the protests. Jews have actually led the protests.
You said it.
Jews calling for a
you said it, and I appreciate it.
Consider them to be Hamas.
Okay, I've got to leave it there. I'm sorry, Pat. Thank you very much indeed to my panel. I appreciate you all joining.
No, they didn't do it. The Jews did not do the protest. Blah, 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 blah. I've never seen such an obnoxious woman ever in my life. A total disaster for her. She just exposed her ignorance and her hypocrisy. She makes film for the Palestinians, the Arab children. This lady is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I want to know your opinion about her. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful